Here in this dense woodland, I can see almost nothing because my hoodie is on backwards. Bloody hell, that's the 4th time this week. Where is the continuity man?
And who's that guy walking down the street?
Landmarks, get show. He's the kind of guy you think, wow, he looks quite neat. Landmarks, get show.
Oh, good morning. As you can see, I live in a fridge. I bet that sounds kind of weird to you, doesn't it? Kind of unique. I reckon you'd like to come on over, knock on my fridge door and see inside. Take a little look around, find out a little bit more about what it's like to live in a fridge. Well, you can't! You can't stay away from my fridge! It's my fridge! Don't you ever come near here or I'll have your nose! I'll have your nose!
Remember, there's nothing cool about approaching unknown fridges.
Oh, hey, there's John. No. John's a complete weirdo. Why? He's creepy. He preys on young women.
Oh Lord, please watch over my family.
Stop preying on me!
Hey!
When you look at me, what do you see?
You horny git. Silly hair. We can see the string, you silly shitter.
But I am so much more than horns and a mohawk. I am me, and I am marvelous. Oh, to horns and mohawk for him. If the him in question has horns and a mohawk.
The makers of Oda Horns and Mohawk sprayed Oda Horns and Mohawk into the eyes of innocent spiders. One Belgian farmer is flogged for every bottle sold. May cause wet farts. T's and C's apply.
There's no good comedy sketches anymore.
I may have touched the swan, just a little, but there wasn't anything about our engagement that wasn't consensual.
Freya and Laura used to do this sort of thing, didn't they?
I don't know why I said Mohawk, like an American. You should have said Mohican. And anyway, it was the Pawnee who did it like that. Grandma, put that anvil down!
Obnoxious train, that's a good one. I'm a friggin' train. I'm fucking class. Yay, bean race, woohoo, woohoo! Who doesn't love a bean race? Much better than that Jake and Jim crap. Hello and welcome to Jake and Jim's Question of the Week. Today we'll be asking, how many children did the old woman who lived in the shoe actually have? None. She was the sole inhabitant. Now that's not true though, is it, Jim? No. She had 13 originally, didn't she, Jim? Yes. Yes. And what happened to 7 of them? They died. Yes, they did, Jim. And 3 of the others? Sweatshop workers. And didn't you run over the youngest one in your monster truck? Bet you don't feel so good about your little joke now, do you, Jim? You make me sick. Next week, we'll be asking, why is Jim's wife such an ugly old repulsive smelly hag? Huh, I can tell you, I'm looking forward to that one. Bye! Come on, mister! Come on, mister! Oh, Sean's died. Bean references.
Hatchets. They're not babies. Gardens are areas of land usually attached to a home that contain plants, trees, and lawns. Lawns were used by rich idiots to show off how much land they had. They're a complete waste of space. One person who isn't a waste of space is T-Rod the J-Dog Houstington. Here he is performing his next party banger.
Wooden spoons and dirty sids, they're fun for you and me. My favourite thing is having really warm limbs, so I wear a knee cozy.
Brilliant, isn't he? Some gardens include sheds. Sheds are so called because people go inside them to shed their anus skin in winter. Over the years, the popularity of gardens fell, with some people even saying very rude things about them.
Gardens are shite.
If anyone said anything derogatory about my backyard, I would easily squash their skull like I'd effortlessly squished this pathetic berry. It didn't stand a chance. As time went by, it became more popular to keep your garden small, hidden but useful, like the gills of a penguin. If I could describe my garden in one noise, it would be but I can't, so I won't. Gardens.
Old-fashioned people are better in every way. I just can't wait till all the old boomers die. Slight change bothers me. I jump on popular bandwagons. The only true religion is the one I happen to be raised in. I'm a Taurus. I think shit racist jokes are hilarious. I think shit jokes about the Daily Mail are hilarious. I love being heartless. I love being a victim. Damn, it feels tough to be a centrist. Oh, that came dangerously close to making a serious point. Zark?
This is not a pretty petit pois. It's a club sandwich.
Thanks, Zark. And now this. My girl says I'm fatty all the time, fatty all the time, I broke up with my girlfriend yesterday. She says I stink. Can you believe that? She says I smell foul. Well, I do like sniffing chickens. My girl says I'm fatty all the time, fatty all the time, fatty all the time.
Welcome to They Should Be Famous. Today's person you should know about, Jorfin Borfin. For some time, the only remarkable thing about him was that he once met a woman who had been hiding behind a Christmas tree for 47 years.
Still here!
But on his 30th birthday, Borfin decided to modify his mindset. Much like when you pay an arm and a leg for something, but it doesn't actually cost that much, change was afoot. Borfin started to think long and hard and deep and thoroughly about what he could do to make himself become a world-famous individual. And then, only 2 days later, he became the first man in history to be eaten by a group of demented meerkats. Jorfin Borfin. An unfortunate name, an unfortunate life.
You're watching
It's hard to be a young man in the modern era. We're no longer allowed to leer at women, jeer at women, or even throw recently deceased mice into each other's mouths on every second Thursday of April. What has the world come to? We asked Jim Sexton in Sichuan what he thought about the difficulties surrounding modern man.
Wet wipes!
Jim Sexton was not very helpful, so I'll try to be of more assistance. Here are my terrific tips for modern men. Number 1, eat your vegetables. They really are great. They really are. Vegetables such as red peppers, carrots, salt, embarrassingly bad poems written for a former lover who ran off with a spatula salesman, and broccoli. Number 2, and I know this will annoy some of you out there, so stick with me on this one. Whenever you're shaving, no matter how much you want to try it, no matter how much you've heard it's cool, or how much you want to be one of the boys, do not ever use a cleaver taped to a hairdryer. Thirdly, but not least, number 3. My third tip is go out there and try some new hobbies and sports. Try your hand at coffee volleyball.
It does burn.
How about wall mocking? Or even drawing pictures of former French soccer footballer man Frank Leboeuf and making him say ridiculous things. This one says some alcohol actually tastes nice and its sole purpose is not just for getting drunk. That one is good. Now that is top drawer. Who came up with that? That's brilliant. No one would ever say that. So take my tips to heart and you too will be a respectable, dashing, fine young man in this confusing modern era. Hey Dave, open your mouth. I've got a big dead mouse for you, you slut.
Hi, I'm Bleeding Stump Leg. And I'm Nondescript Jar of Peanut Butter. Honestly, what a pair. He won't stop bleeding, and she won't stop being peanutish and buttery in a nondescript manner. What are we like? But did you know that we also solve crime?
No, we're not doing that. No, clearly I'm just scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I've run out of sketch ideas. I mean, a jar of peanut and a foot? I just, no, I'm not gonna make it anywhere as any sort of significant content creator. I just wish there was some way I could get rich, just get rich quick on. If there was some way I could get rich online.
This is an incredibly weak linking segment.
Shut up, nondescript jar of peanut butter. Shut up.
Okay. Hi, I'm TJ Hilbert. Stick around because I'm going to tell you 8 ways to get rich from YouTube. Starting with number 1.
Clickbait is a terrible thing. It all started in 1603 when Lord Fauntleroy's steam hostel pinned a sign to the edge of the city gates reading, "Here be some large floppy bread." The book, "Look inside, there's some seriously juicy stuff," was published. However, there was no juicy stuff inside. And yea, the townsfolk spat on their grandmothers and danced semi-naked around a lawnmower. Before John could grasp the little weasel, it had ran straight right up his enormously large left nostril. Eliza, I believe her name was, yes, we slaughtered her first. Elbows. Hundreds and hundreds of elbows. But there was no jam left in the bloody jar. And for those reasons, I say that clickbait is a terrible, terrible thing. Happy searching, happy surfing, avoid clickbait, and every so often, put down the devices and read a fucking book. Goodbye.
Coming soon as part of Seeing the Other Side season, a short film entitled Maybe We're Not So Different. Sean was born with an indecipherable pixelated image on the front of his head. To protect his identity, we've given him a face.
And you know, even though we've been brought up differently, I actually grew to quite like Billy.
Even though we were brought up differently, I actually got to quite like Sean.
Even my ma said she had a bit of a soft spot for him.
Apparently even his ma has a wee soft spot for me now.
And that got me thinking.
Which got me thinking...
maybe we aren't that different after all.
What if I pop his man? Nah, but really, maybe we aren't that different. Coming soon to TV and the internet. For those not used to it, spending too much time in the great outdoors can confuse the mind. City dwellers exposed to too much nature can experience strange delusions of grandeur, like this man who thinks he's an absolute legend. And this man who thinks he's an absolute lighthouse.
Stay away from the rocks! Stay away from the rocks!
Oh, hello. Today we're going to be talking about nominative determinism. I'm your host, John Falls Down Hose. Ah!
Welcome to They Should Be Famous. Today's person you should know about? Michael B. Michael. Scientist Michael B. Michael was trying to rid the world of all known diseases. A worthwhile and awesome cause. Unfortunately, due to his unorthodox techniques, he turned himself into an apple on a stick. Nowadays, many of his descendants and their families are also apples on sticks. I'm sorry, this is quite difficult. I mean, I do try to stay positive. There's that phrase, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. This isn't true in my case. I have to see doctors regularly, and often they don't really know how to deal with my particular medical condition. They're not exactly trained to deal with what I have because, as is probably already quite apparent, I am, I'm an apple on a stick. Please donate kindly to the Michael B. Michael Foundation for stopping people being apples on sticks.
Carolahee! Carolahoo! Carolahee! Idiot.
Having a cause to get behind can make you feel great. Some causes can truly benefit the world. Causes such as eradicating poverty or releasing injured flip-flops back into the wild.
Fly free, little one!
However, there is a danger that you might get too caught up in your cause. Zachariah Palif here is boring people to tears with stories about a stupid dog grooming group. Stupid? There's nothing stupid about the super terrific, unbelievable Parliament for Impeccable Dogs. I knew he'd have a witty acronym. Causes. If you don't have one, people will probably like you more.
After witnessing such a production, one should take time to think about others. Perhaps consider those who don't know many actors, or perhaps they don't have any friends who are currently willing to appear in sketches. Mayhaps they have to wear brown paper bags over their faces to differentiate themselves from previous characters. Consider shows that were made without much talent, or audio levels that are all over the place. A critic may be harsh, but let's hope those nosy critics stop being so gosh darn judge bloody mental about the sound of a car in the background of a sketch, or perhaps that watery mouth sound in one or two voiceovers. Let's hope they remember the humorous content. And what about those shaky camera bits, or poor lighting? I'd forget about those too. Look at these zebra. I'd sooner remember those if I were you. Yep, Landmark's full-length, no-budget sketch show, even though he paid for one little voiceover at the very beginning sketch, is a great thing. And these are some awesome zebra. This bit does not have a punchline.
And who's that guy walking down the street?
Landmark sketch show. He's the kind of guy you think, wow, he looks quite neat. Landmark sketch show.
And jokes and fun and stories too.
Landmark sketch show. He's really great. I already mentioned he's neat. Landmark sketch show.
Do you enjoy violins? Do you enjoy spending time with your son or daughter? Do they also enjoy violins? Then we invite you to Fiddle with a Child this Thursday at 8 p.m. Come join us, because making memories is important, and they'll never forget the time you fiddled with them. This evening is sponsored by the Perhaps We Shouldn't Have Called It That events company.